What's going on, offensive line junkies, football fans? It's the Week 10 rookie left tackle breakdown this week. No Mekhi Becton. They were on a bye week, and he barely played in that Patriots Monday Night Football game, left with injury. Hope he's doing well. I mean, I like watching him play. But that's why I didn't do one last week, because Becton was basically out. Wills was on the bye week, and then I spent so much time on Thomas with the Giants O-line report that I just didn't feel the need to do one last week. But we're back. Speaking of Andrew Thomas, he had a good game against the Eagles where, if you watch the Week 7 video, probably the most frustrated I was with Andrew Thomas versus the Eagles. So nice to him to bounce back. It wasn't as good as the last 2 weeks, which honestly is a good thing, that he can have an average game and and not be not be like, ooh, we're moving in the right direction, where you would have taken average after a couple of those other games that were pretty bad. So good stuff. And then Jedrick Wills. I mean, this was the most exciting game for Jedrick Wills. I think he took that bye week time and really got better. I mean, he was pancaking dudes in the run game. I don't know if it was just Houston or what, but he looked really good. This was a fun game to watch of Jedrick Wills. So you got to be excited, Browns fans. Like I said, let's get into it. Jedrick Wills. All right, Jedrick Wills, Week 10 versus the Texans, man. I know Browns fans watch this, and I'm complimenting of Jedrick Wills, but at times I'm like, he's just kind of a boring player. He does his job, which is good for left tackle. This was Jedrick Wills' best game by. I don't want to say by far. I don't want to exaggerate, but this was his best game to me, and this was the most fun I had watching him. And I mean, I don't think it's a coincidence that it came after a bye week for the Browns. Time to work at your craft. To be like, you're not really studying the opponent, where you get to work on your craft. And I mean, it's just fun, especially in the run game, where in past weeks I'm like, he does his job in the run, but he's not like burying dudes or moving anybody. This game he did, man. He was a lot of fun to watch. And like I said, I don't think it's a coincidence that it came after a bye. I mean, we saw Andrew Thomas, improve after, an 11-day break between a Thursday night game and a Monday night game. Now, we obviously heard some news about Colombo that might have had some impact on it. But nonetheless, let's get into it, because this was a fun game to watch. And like I said, the run game was awesome. That's where we're going to start. He's got this 5 technique on him. I really think that, I mean, he just pancakes a dude there. I just left that part out. I really think that whatever they told him in this bye week, like, hey, they're reacting to this outside zone, this zone run we do. When they read and stand up, torque your hips and bury dudes. And then he gets big on them. I love that. I mean, let's play it again. Let's play it again at full speed. I love that. I just love that. Next, we've got this is the next play. This is coming out of the second half, by the way. This is the next play. Let's just play it. Same thing. Just pancakes a guy. He got a little bit of help from his left guard. Gets those hands right inside that chest plate. Now he's got full extension. Now he's just taking him for a ride. Getting him off balance. And it's always good for an offensive lineman. This pose is always a good one. Whenever you are falling over a defensive lineman, that means you've done your job. When you are doing a somersault over a defensive lineman, you have done your job. I mean, that's good stuff. Here, we got him at left tackle. Just watch how wide his base is. Stays wide. And it's hard to see because there's a little bit of traffic. Bam. Quick steps. Keeps that base, see it's skinny up right there. Gets it back wide. He tries to redirect. As soon as he tries to redirect, the defensive lineman tries to redirect. Finish him. I mean, that's beautiful stuff. That's beautiful stuff right there. Here, watch. He's going to the linebacker or safety. And Thomas did this too, which we'll see later in the video. But watch. Watch him help out his left guard. Just bams a dude. You guys know I like to say bam. I mean, he just puts that hip into him. Like I said, Jedrick Wills is very technical. I like that this is just like, hey, sometimes just be a bully. And literally, like you work for the DEA and you're doing a drug bust and you're busting down the door with the big thing they have. I forget what it's called. Really making myself look dumb here. I mean, good stuff there helping. On this one, this one's, like I said, outside zone. So an outside zone, this guy is trying to set this edge and get upfield. And as soon as he tries, because he's reading, and as soon as he tries to extend, Will's redirect, like just keeps his hands on those and extends and puts them on the ground. Now that's a lot of the defensive end, like leaning. But because Wills is able to stay engaged. I guess I mean, this was that wasn't like as good as the other ones, but man, it's still fun to watch to see your defender go on the ground. And then in the pass game, man, he was just in control. Set, punch. Just in control the whole time. Nice feet, punches, and then just wash the hands. See that left hand? See that left hand come off? And then back inside his chest. And then now you've won. Baker's got a nice pocket to run up in. Again, just good control. Like you see the punch isn't out of control. Just good and control, relax. Just confident blocking. That's confident blocking, not like you're gonna win this if I just do this all the right way. And then something that Wills was struggling with a little earlier in the year, especially against Montez Sweat of Washington, is because he doesn't have the longest arms. I mean, his arms are they're plenty long, but he doesn't have the longest arms. He would get these long arms and to get bench pressed back into the quarterback. But watch what he does. Watch what he does with his right hand. Watch that right hand. As soon as that left arm goes into his chest, that right hand removes it. Removes it, and then not just removes it and then replaces with a punch. Not necessarily not a violent punch, but getting his hands on him. I mean, that's, like I said, good in control pass blocking. And then here, they don't know who's blitzing or whatnot. 52, who's in front of 32, is going to do an inside move and just powers down. A beautiful watch. Watch the right foot. As soon as 52 goes inside, bam, down. As soon as he mirrors him, makes it look simple. I mean, like I said, I keep on forgetting to put my phone on Do Not Disturb during these videos. This was an awesome game for Wills. Browns fans coming off the bye week. I know the weather was horrible in this game, but you got to feel just super confident about Jedrick Wills as your left tackle going forward. I mean, he hasn't had a game where it's just been like, oh my gosh, he's been brutal. Like, there's been games where he's had sacks and holdings, but there hasn't been a game where you're like, our left tackle just did not perform today. And this one was his best game. And if coming off a bye week, there's stuff he worked on, and I think more, especially in the run game. So good stuff from Jedrick Wills, and I expect the Browns, who been running to the right a lot, to start running to the left a little more often. So good stuff by Jedrick Wills. All right, Andrew Thomas, Week 10 versus the Eagles. Last game with Mark Colombo as his offensive line coach. If you're a Giants fan, you heard about it. If you're an NFL fan, you heard about it. You heard that there was a fight. There wasn't. But nonetheless, let's get into it. So if you've been following these videos the last couple of weeks, Thomas had a really good game versus Tampa, and then against Washington, he played pretty damn good, and especially when he was lined up with Chase Young. He won every battle except for one, and on that one, the ball was out already. So, he handled himself pretty well, and he's been improving. Now, this was the third game after that, the third game after the Eagles game where he got embarrassed on Thursday Night Football. So I really couldn't wait to see how he looked in this game. So overall thoughts before we get into it. He was all right. This wasn't as good as the last two games. But as we go through, we'll see that he still isn't perfect in his footwork or in certain things, but he's making progress to where he's able to use his athleticism to recover on some stuff. So let's go through it. We'll start with the good. Here's just a great pass rep. Punch, not leaning. Tries to counter. Watch the right foot. I mean, just totally wins this battle. Gives Jones all the time in the world to make this throw. Next one. Just anchoring in the bull. And we'll see he gets popped on a bull rush later or earlier in the game, but we'll go through it later in the video. What I like is just anchoring down. So, okay, he got some. We're going you. Just anchoring down. Where 94 is sitting there wrestling with you. He's not trying to get his hands. He's just sitting there trying to wrestle with Thomas. I don't know what he's doing. But nonetheless, good snap there. Next one. Just put a nice, perfect pocket for Jones. And what I like at the beginning is what he's starting to do, especially with Lemieux next to him, is watch the right hand. Right hand out there is to help, just in case they try some kind of stunt. But you're just basically like staying intact with your left guard. And not not punching and leaning to where he gets around the corner. And then once he's going around that edge, you just wash him out. Good rep there. This next one, want to watch the right foot because we've talked about him protecting the inside. So this isn't perfect, but one, you don't see any lean, really. And then two, against Tampa, he really made an effort to use this right foot to protect the inside. So the inside counter comes. Now, that's not really great, that little skip right there. But it is a lot better than what he was doing in previous weeks where he was taking this foot and dropping it back here, and it was giving him a pass to the quarterback. So, like I said, it's not perfect. It's not perfect. But he's able to get the job done, use his athleticism, stuff he was able to do in Georgia. And it helps when the rest of the O-line is doing a good job too. And the Giants are able to make a big play out of it. Next play, we've got... Oh, this is a bull rush. My bad. Spin move. I forgot I had that in the notes. So again, same thing. So like I said, this isn't perfect, but watch on his punch. He punches a little early, but he's not... Like, there's some lean, but he's not, like, over his skis. And then so when the spin comes... Now, the right foot does drop back, which you don't want. What you do want is him to power down here and mirror him. But he's able to adjust and wash down. I mean, Jones helps him out there too. So like I said, the theme of this week for Thomas to me is not like, oh, this is some great game. But he's putting it together to where even when it's not perfect, he's able to, not get embarrassed or not, screw up a play. And then here's where he gets the bull rush. I mean, just kind of... I know he's not wanting to, like, over punch, but he just kind of... He catches in there, lets him get into his chest. Does a good job, like, powering down, anchoring down. So you can live with that. But what happens is, when the right tackle's getting beat, now Jones can't step up in the pocket. He ends up getting hit. So there's a couple times, not a couple times, but there's been times this year where he just gets worked on the bull rush. Here is the end of the half. So he's been protecting the inside pretty well, and on this one, he just dips around the edge. I mean, that could have been bad if that was supposed to be a longer play, or instead of a 3-step drop, a 5-step drop. Like I said, this was the only time this defensive end dipped like that. But that's why you don't want to open up your hips too early. I know opening up his hips a little earlier has helped him in some cases because it protects his inside. But when you open up your hips that early, I mean, look, the right tackle's doing it too, then that opens it up for them to get around the corner to the quarterback. So... It's, working through this kind of stuff. And then this was the first play of the game. This was a covered sack, but it was a sack nonetheless. Like I said, the bull rush, and he anchors down. But I should have put the coverage in here. I mean, there's just, this is supposed to be, this is a curl, stick, and then slant, and then out routes, and it's just totally covered. Like you see Jones, he just gives up on it. But basically, even with that though, see the hands right there? Kind of gets back on his heels and he powers down. Like he's good at powering down once he does get the bull rush. But you don't want to be put in that situation anyways. But like this all here is fine. It's just the bull rush that like after this is fine. Like I know the sack happens right here, but Jones walks into the sack. And honestly, Jones probably should have, moved to the right in the pocket a little bit at this point. Or scrambled or something. This was the first play of the game. And then so in the run game, I'm going to go quick. I mean, he just is kind of a mauler and he's great at these combo blocks. Like you're kind of stalemating. And then gets that movement. And then let's see where the running back is coming off of. That's the way you want it. The running back's coming right off your ass. That's big boy football right there. Again, this one's less of a combo, more of just a wham and go to linebacker. Just being a bully, puts him on the ground. Now he's expecting because it almost looks like he makes a tackle, but this play is supposed to go like in through here or here. So he's trying to seal off on this side. Sorry, mouse in the way. Regardless. And on this, I just want to say, what do you think of this play? If you weren't a Giants fan, what would you think of that play? They called him for holding on that. To me, that's kind of weak. If that's holding, everything's holding. All right, that's the Week 10 rookie left tackle report. Giants on a bye week, so we'll definitely be doing Jedrick Wills no matter what next week. Hopefully, Mekhi Becton's playing. Anyways, if you liked the video, please give it a like and subscribe. It helps. Channel's growing. I got a new backdrop, although I need to get a stand for it, so it's not just right in the middle. But anyways, appreciate you guys watching, and enjoy your weekend.